The Hot Wheels movie series is peak cinema, and I think we all know that. But there are some things and decisions that never sat right with me going from World Race over into Acceleracers. I would like to place this quick disclaimer: I am not an Acceleracer pro. I have not read all of the cards in the card game, so if any of this information is either common knowledge or it's like described in a card game or some obscure piece of media, my bad. Like, if you want to ask me questions about World Race, I got you. Acceleracers, I don't got you as much. So just keep that in mind. Thank you. Now, before you come at me with your pitchforks and torches, I obviously know that the series, while sharing the same universe and characters, are not produced by the same teams. Hot Wheels World Race was produced by Starlight Runner Entertainment with the GOAT, I'm totally not biased at all by the way, Jeff Gomez is the producer, and Acceleracers was produced by Mainframe Studios with Mark Edens at the head. So for this, I'm not going to be talking about like character designs. I'm looking at you specifically, Taro, and I'm not going to be talking about how their feet grow like a bajillion sizes. This is more just story-wise continuity. I also know this series is meant for kids, so continuity isn't necessarily the biggest thing, and you can pretty much pick up Acceleracers without ever watching World Race, but we're still going to look at it anyways, because that's fun. So with that out of the way, we can finally start a list. I'd like to preference this for anyone who doesn't know. Acceleracers takes place 2 years after World Race, and this is said by Vert in the Clash of the Coast World Race recap.
It started 2 years ago. It was my 16th birthday. But that wasn't what made it special.
During Ignition, after a Gig shows up and tells him that Tesla needs him to race against the drones, they end up going back to Tesla's original cube, and that's where Vert and Kadeem have a quick exchange.
You get everything straightened out back home?
My people will have to wait, because this cannot.
The Kadeem that was in World Race only cared about his people. That was why he was racing. That's why he wanted to take off right after the race, because he didn't want to spend any time, like, fooling around. He just wanted to go back.
I make my own luck. Anyone else want to race?
Street breed's always ready to tear up the street. How about the Dune Rats, Kadeem?
I'm going home. I have things I must do.
So him not going back, or saying that he didn't go back, doesn't make any sense to what his character was. To me, even when I was younger, I always interpreted this as he just kept working for Tesla after the World Race. But like, that wouldn't make any sense, because he literally, his entire story arc in World Race was, I'm racing for my people. Like, he has the whole hallucination and everything. That's what he wanted. His end goal was to get money for his people. So him saying that they can wait is kind of out of left field, and always caught me as like by surprise. If we go based off the idea that he kept working for Tesla right after World Race, that just means he has $5 million sitting in his bank account that his people are never gonna see, because as we all know,
Kadeem is gone!
Nolo has a flashback in Ignition that shows Tone's final race. During this, you can see Synchro in the air with jump boosts already on the car. This means that someone had to reverse engineer Tesla's work on the DR2 and then fit it for all the Teku cars. This is insane to do within that 2-year time gap. We don't even know if Vert joined right after World Race or if he joined like a little bit down the line, so they might have had even less time to look at this. We also know that Tesla built all the cars in World Race, which means a car like Synchro wouldn't be on the market with jump jets just pre-installed.
Hey Taro, you think this guy Tesla knows what he's talking about? Or is he just local?
It took a genius to build these cars, Banji.
Do all the cars in the world just look like Teku and Metal Mania cars after the 2-year jump? Tone crashes and blows up Synchro within the flashback. Mind you, we don't exactly know when this happened, but the first race against Torque on the street is in a Synchro that looks almost identical, if not the same, as the one that Tone blew up. Do dealerships just sell cars like Synchro now? In World Race and Acceleracers, Major Wheeler drives like a normal looking car, and in World Race, while Vert's getting his driver's license, in the background there's just normal chilling cars. Okay, now this one has always bothered me. Why did Galoran replace the Clip drivers? I mean, it's not like they weren't racing drones. If you watch the recap from Battle of the Coast, Burt Wheeler even calls them racing drones, like right there for the movie.
And when the racing drones tried to take the wheel of power.
Don't get me wrong, I love the look and the overall menacing vibe that the racing drones give, but the clip drivers would have been such a better bet for winning the realms. The only realms that I believe the clip drivers would do worse in is the cavern realm because of the low hanging like ceiling and the stalactites and stalagmites, and the swamp realm because of the mosquitoes and the overall like the vines and everything. At the end of World Race, Galorum has just a fleet of drivers ready to jump the racers before putting back the wheel. What does she do with all of them? Like, after Vert puts the wheel back, they just retreat, and then you never get to see them again. The ultimate strategy would be to send the recon drone in first, so that it can map out the track for the clip drivers, and then you send the clip drivers in with their wings already out, so they can just straight up fly to the exit. With the release of Valken's Fog Realm, while not necessarily being canon, it helps bridge a small gap between World Race and Acceleracers, with the 5 teams still existing. The Fog Realm seems to take place shortly after World Race, as the Accelerate isn't finished yet. This is also your chance to click away and go watch the Fog Realm before coming back, because there's a spoiler for the ending of Part 1 of Fog Realm ahead. The post-credits scene shows a droned plane coming up from underneath the track. Hi guys, Editor Double here. So when I was getting the footage for the end of the Fog Realm clip, I realized that's a hyperpod, and it's not just like one of the planes that they used in the Swamp Realm. However, my point still stands. The clip drivers could fly anyways, so if Galorum just kept the clip drivers, they wouldn't clip drones, whatever. I think I say drivers a lot, but they're supposed to be clip drones. If Galorum just kept the clip drones, that hyperpod would not be needed. Sorry for the confusion. Wouldn't this make more sense if it was a clip driver instead? As I don't believe, between the slotted time of World Race, Fog Realm, and then Acceleracers, that Galorum would have gotten rid of all the clip drivers yet, and switched to planes and just normal racing drones. If the wheel is the same as the World Race wheel, why are the realms and the legs of the World Race on completely different levels? The legs of the World Race were only dangerous when the drivers made it dangerous. I'm looking at you, Kurt.
Cut short.
The realms are dangerous just by hazards. Like, the realms actively want to stop the drivers from getting to the end. And in some instances, if this wasn't a kids' movies, those drivers should absolutely be dead. Now this one might be a bit of a nitpick, but when Vert meets Lonnie again, he says, finally, another Wave Ripper.
Exact 3-dimensional recreation.
Lonnie! Oh, it's good to see another Wave Ripper.
I'm not.
And Marky is still sitting at the table. Now I know that Vert is a Teku and Marky is a Metal Maniac, but that doesn't make them less of Wave Rippers. They were still on the same team. They still competed in the same legs. I mean, sure, Marky's just kind of wild. Vert's also the reason that Marky got that $5 million in the first place. Like, at least be a little bit grateful, man. Come on. That's something I wish they touched on a little bit more in Acceleracers. Like, they never talk about how Marky was a Wave Ripper or he was on the same team as Vert at some point. There's only one time in Ignition where I think it's like almost brought up, and it's like when Wild says that Vert can't find half his car, and then Vert just goes, okay, Marky.
We have to get back in there and find Kadeem.
You can't even find half your car.
Hey, back off, Marky.
Like, that's like the only, I don't know, the only thing that relates to them being Wave Rippers and on the same team. But other than that, not that I can remember off the top of my head, there's nothing like, there's no continuity between those two. I do like that within the fog realm, even though all the wave rippers are gone, Lonnie still has an apron with the wave rippers logo on it. That's an amazing attention to detail. This is a quick one. Kurt's disdain for Tesla. Why? I mean, don't get me wrong, Tesla's not a great guy. Installing the EDR way later, even though he had it when he was in Nitrium. But like, does Kurt remember he worked for Galorum and he almost killed like half of the drivers? I don't get why like he doesn't trust his scientist dude. It makes no sense to me still. This also brings up Kurt in general. I don't like the way they handled him in Acceleracers. Because in World Race, he's like this cocky, show-off driver. He's won Grand Prix. According to the comics, he got outed for cheating. But he's still a great driver. But then like in Acceleracers, he's very... I hate using this word, but he's like super submissive, if that makes sense. Like when Vert and Nolo are arguing on the coast, he just goes, "Oh, it's Nolo's call who races."
Stay out of it.
He's only the leader because of his brother.
Hey, it's Nolo's call who races. Hey.
The old Kurt wouldn't do that. The old Kurt would have been like, actually, put me in the race. I don't know, I just don't like how they handled his character. I do like the redemption arc with him and Marky, but like, I think he had such like a badass attitude, and then they just like dropped it. And for our final one for this video, I want to talk about the driver's wheels. So Tesla knows about the changing conditions of the realms, especially because he sent Banji through the swamp realm. So he knows that the realms are always a toss-up. It's not until after the racers bring back a drone wheel that Tesla gets the idea to fit his own Accelerator cars with those wheels. But this doesn't make too much sense, as the Dune Rats' entire gimmick was that their tires can become spiked at any time.
Dune Rats, switch to sand tires.
Get some spikes, man. Let's make tracks.
Why didn't he take the time to give the drivers new wheels, even if it's just for the spikes? He never knows like what realm is going to be next, so you never know when that could come in handy. Like during the swamp realm, that probably would have been pretty handy, because the traction would just be way better. And with that, I think we're going to wind down today's video. If you've watched all the way through, thank you. That means a lot, even though I haven't posted anything in like 3 years. Hopefully, I don't know, I have some video ideas that I want to get out of my head. They're in my notes app right now. They need more research, which is kind of why I'm putting them off for a bit. And then I need to do the baseline, video that I promised and then made an April Fool's video. Banger video, by the way. I completely forgot I made that. Big fan of that video. Yeah, so thank you all for watching. Be sure to check out Fog Realm. Check out JC Square. He just hit 10K. Congrats, man. So proud of you. Yeah. I will see you, hopefully, in the future. Cheers!